Listen, you don't have to wait until you're older to make an impact in your society. You can do it right now by registering yourself and your peers. And when the time comes, you can vote for the change that you want to see.
Hello, I'm going to take you through the process of voter pre-registration/registration. To complete this process, you will need the last 4 digits of your Social Security number and a current Florida State identification card or driver's license. You also need to be at least 16 years old and a U.S. citizen. If you are in an in-person classroom, please raise your hand if you intend on completing this process with us. If you are in a virtual classroom, please drop a yes in the chat box if you intend on completing this process with us. If you can't complete this process with us for whatever reason, please say no in the chat box. You don't have to specify why. Your organizer is now going to pause the video until they receive a response from everyone in the class. The first step is confirming your eligibility. So once again, confirm that you are a citizen of the United States of America, affirm that you are not a convicted felon, or if you are, that your right to vote has been restored, and affirm that you have not been adjudicated mentally incapacitated with respect to voting, or, if you have, that your right to vote has been restored. So, once again, if you are in person, please look up when you have finished confirming these 3 criteria, or if you are online, drop a done in the chat. Okay, so if you press continue, more questions should drop down from the eligibility portion. Please indicate whether this is a new registration, whether you are doing a record update/change, or whether you lost your voter information card and you want to get a new one. Choose which applies to you, even if that's multiple. Moving on, you should not check either of these boxes, as you should have both your Florida driver's license, ID card, or permit, as well as your Social Security number. If you have these 2, then you can continue. Please put down the number on your ID, its issue date, and the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. Then, as it is printed on your most recent ID, please put down your last name, first name, middle name, and suffix if applicable. Then, put down your date of birth. Lastly, be sure to tell your computer that you are not a robot. So once again, if you are in person, look up when you're finished, and if you are online, drop a done in the chat box. Alright, so if you press continue, you should see political party preference at the top. Go ahead and click the drop-down box. You can choose from all of these options. The 2 major political parties are the Florida Democratic Party and the Republican Party of Florida. The advantage of choosing one of these 2 major political parties is that Florida is a closed primary election state. What that means is you can only vote in the primaries if you are a registered Democrat or Republican. So, while you are welcome to choose any of these parties or no party affiliation, the downside is that you cannot vote in the primaries in Florida. Okay, so now please put down your legal residential address. If you click here to enter address, a pop-up should show up. Go ahead and put in your zip code, your house street number, your street name, your city, your county, and the rest of the information it asks for. It should then allow you to submit. Alright, so if you are already registered to vote, or if you voted in the past, please go ahead and put down your former name and address where you were last registered to vote. This is really only applicable if you are trying to update your registration, not if you are registering for the first time. Alright, so the next step is your personal information. Please go ahead and put down your gender, your race/ethnicity, your telephone number, and your state or country of birth. There's also a little checkbox that says email me sample ballots if option is available in my county. I recommend that you get the sample ballots. What that will mean is that you literally get a sample ballot emailed to you, so that way you can see who is going to be on the ballot and you can do your research ahead of time to see who you want to vote for. Alright, so please keep in mind that this voter information is a public record, so anyone can find this information online. Moving forward, for assistance/volunteer services, please indicate whether you need assistance with voting or whether you're interested in becoming a poll worker. I strongly recommend that you all look into becoming a poll worker. It's a paid position, and we're in a shortage of them, so it's definitely something worth looking into. Lastly, for classification, are you an active duty uniformed service or merchant marine member? Are you a spouse or dependent of an active duty uniformed services or merchant marine member? Are you a U.S. citizen residing outside of the U.S., or are you none of the above? This concludes Step 2. When you are finished completing this page, please look up if you are in person and drop a done in the chat box if you are online. Alright, so when you press continue, you should get to Step 3, which is the last step. So here's all of your personal identification information. Please go through all of it and make sure everything is correct. It's actually a third-degree felony to put down false information, so really make sure everything is good to go. When you're done, be sure to click the oath in order to submit your application. That concludes this tutorial. Thank you so much for your time and happy voting.